Phil Davis, Ancestry Lands, ancestrylands.com. Wanted to ask you folks as I taken my drive in the way to Philadelphia. We're right now on 76, Blue Route. Very little traffic as I'm driving. Nice, clear ways. Good speed. The speed limit. Wanted to talk to you folks about, do you talk about money with your children? Now, I, as a land investor, am when I talk to my kids, do you have conversations about money with them? Do they understand interest rates? Now, again, obviously it has to be age appropriate conversations, but are you introducing your children to money? I ask this question because a lot of parents sometimes frown against introducing money to their children until they become adults and they introduce their children to debt. They do not introduce them to money that they can only spend in the finite amount. The first time that the parents introduce money or money concepts to their children is when they're offered the satisfaction of buying what they want when they want immediately and worrying about the purchase, the reality of that purchase later. My wife and I were having a discussion about whether we should get another TV for our back room. And I asked her, I said, well, it's been a year since it's Prime Day and all those other sales. And of course, it's Prime Day, so we got to go buy something. And I just asked her, I said, well, what will we use the TV for? We haven't been using it all this time so far. Like, we would just buy it to have it and you could watch TV, but how often do you watch TV in the room? And if you did, for what reason? And she thought about it. I was like, well, I guess we really don't need the TV. And again, you're buying because you're being told and being told to. You're being told. I'm sorry. You're being sold, not told. You're being told to buy. It's Prime Day. Ding, ding, ding. You're in Pavlov's experiment again. It's Prime Day. Now it's time to go buy something because it's on sale. But did you qualify the purchase? Is it in your budget? It's Prime Day should not overwrite the fact that you have a budget just because it's Prime Day, or else you should have yearly or annually budget for a Prime Day purchase. But that lack of discipline, that lack of budgeting, that lack of talking about finances, your children watch because you do not teach them. They're led by impulsive spending. And now think about this. You got a child that you provide things to. You get them what they want, when they want, however they want, I guess. Or you say no sometimes. You don't teach them about money. Then they're 15, 16 years old. And now they have more wants, taste. They want to go out with their friends. They're now exposed to friend environments where their friends might have access to money because their parents might be higher socioeconomic area than you are. And then the first, you can't afford that because you've been saying no this time or you've never engaged with them about money. Then they go off to college and they get this thing called a credit card. For the first time, they now have a free way, this highway completely empty, to drive as fast as they want, to spend as much as they want for every impulsive purchase that a teenager could. You have a credit card limit of $10,000. Now, the kid sees the $10,000. They say that's how much I could spend. Rarely do they ever think that I could spend this, but I have to pay it back. Rarely ever. Teenagers are not thinking about what they have to pay back. They're thinking about how much they have to spend. They don't even understand the interest rates they're going to be charged on that purchase. But they know 10,000. They know that number. Now, you're supposing that because you gave them a structured life, you provided needs for them, that's going to be enough. That even if you gave them 10,000 a month, let's just say you handed them 10,000 because you could, that extra 10,000, they're going to say no because I've got this 10,000 in my hand. You have not taught your children money mechanics, their relationship with money. They are taught that they were restricted from having access to money. They were never given discipline on how to manage money, their relationship with money. And now you're expecting them to basically figure that out. And let me ask you this. How's it going so far in this economy? You can look to the current state and or the past to see the future. But for a lot of people, the future only happens if the same exact details happen exactly the same way. But again, history repeats itself, never in the same way. What it does is it gives you similar points on a cycle that shows you need to understand that this is the same script being sent to you. You ever watch a part two of a movie or a season and it looks like season one, the characters were at odds. Season two, the characters become friends. Then the next season, they're back at odds. You just circled around because that's called lazy writing. History does a lot of lazy writing because we insert things like technology to make us think that it's different, but it's not. Technology is just a different form of communication that's more advanced, but again, it still requires the same basics of human function. You could have cell phones, internet, but you still require social skills to work within the real world. So social skills have always been still the same. There's no way around it. And we see what happens when technology exceeds our humanity, our social humanity. And again, you're not teaching your children anything, and what they're going to get into debt the same way people got into debt before them. Because again, we haven't learned that. Now, again, every parent has a right to teach their children whether or not they want to teach their children about money or not, money concepts. But in school, in kindergarten, they learn what a quarter is, what a nickel. They learn how to count. The money system's already being taught to them. So I'm going to say this, and I'll land my plane. As a parent, as an individual, if you're not good with money, you need to learn about it. Because again, you're either going to learn from school, you're going to learn from the world, you're going to learn from the debt, you're going to look at the government, look how much debt they have. Everything from business to personal in the country is being always funded off of debt. We passed $34 trillion on Friday, and no one's talking about it. The debt can't even be paid back in 2 generations. We can't pay the debt, nor can our children pay the debt. And again, these are going to be future leaders, and how much do they know about money? When are they supposed to learn about money? And again, if you're not preparing your children, the government, the people who are in power, are going to control your children because they're not prepared to understand money. They're not prepared to understand that as soon as they get out into the world, they're going to start making more purchases at 22 versus credit cards. Then it becomes the house, the mortgage, and you haven't even saved up enough money yet to be able to put down payments on. So you got to ask the school of mom and dad to help you out, and that's fine. But what happens after that? You're now paying back in on a mortgage. You're paying interest only. Then you get a wife. Then you get children. Then they need this. They need that. It's only a few years, 5 years out of the market, you entering into the workforce, and you're already putting yourself in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt. You're making big purchases in your life, and everyone tells you it's normal because you're being groomed for the next generation of debt holders. Yeah, it looks different, but it repeats itself. Because we don't understand money, because we won't take the time to spend what we have, not what we can qualify for. We want to start business with business debt already before you even qualified, whether you can even make a profit. People walk around talking about how much debt they have. I've never heard anyone talk about how much money they have. We're selling, you're more popular if you have more debt than you do if you have more actual profit. The only D that I want associated with money is dividends, not debt. Because debt means you owe somebody. I'll land my plane there, folks. It's stuff for you to think about. You're going to have to resist the urge to become normal cattle on the farm that leads to the slaughter of you being debt slaves for the rest of your life. And if people around you don't understand that, then you need to let them go. Cut them off. That's why I always say in my videos, you either own property or you're going to be owned as property. You got a decision to make. And trust me, the same people telling you to do something that you don't want to do that's going to lead you down a path. Once you're in that, they're going to say, well, you shouldn't have listened to me. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I'll be damned if I do. Any which way, folks, Phil Davis, Ancestry Lands, AncestryLands.com. Folks, I hope you've been educated, enlightened, entertained. Remember, a link to my book, Getting Dollars from Dirt, is in the comment section below, where you can go and get property for you, yourself, your family. You can own something, least you be owned. Phil Davis, Ancestry Lands, AncestryLands.com. The links are in the description section below. Thanks and have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.